Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness, friends. I decided to go live because there is nothing like the thrill of going live and just being real. It is 1 a.m. here at home, Friday night. I have been sick for a solid week. Pretty much all of my kids have been sick, and I have been tearing myself apart with how many times I feel I have reinvented myself. And I just felt like I needed to get on here. I needed to go live. I needed to share my heart with you and tell you where I'm at. We've had some new subscribers here on the channel, and I just feel so honored. And I think in a very real way, I've kind of felt like a fraud, if I'm going to be completely honest. So I just felt like I needed to show my face and just be me, even if everything wasn't perfect. Um, I really like things to be perfect. Who can relate to that? Can you relate to that? And life just isn't perfect. And there was only one perfect person in all the world. And he also was God. So kind of takes a little bit of the pressure off in a way. But there still is that part of me that just really likes things to be perfect. So I thought I'd introduce myself again. Hi, I'm Anastasia, Anastasia Halcomb. This is my channel, Anastasia Media. And I used to be the oily mommy. I branded myself to that. I learned so much about myself and business when I built up that brand. And I'm so thankful to that girl, to that woman who created that, who built a 6-figure business with her husband deployed and pregnant with her 5th/6th child. I traveled all over the world. And then in 2019, that girl really shook things up. She decided to run for president of the United States of America. I don't know if you guys know this about me, all of you. So, surprise! That was me. I ran for president in 2019 for the 2020 election. I learned a lot of things along the way, but one of the takeaways from that was I'm going to do it again. I don't know when, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it better. I learned a lot, and there is a very strong 2-party system in America. And since I wasn't running for either party, it was definitely a learning curve. It was definitely a learning experience, but I don't regret it. For a long time, I was really ashamed of it. I was ashamed I ran for president. I don't know why. It's like the most badass thing I've ever done. It's also like one of the most badass things I think that you can do, especially as a woman. And I learned a lot about myself. I also learned a lot about people. And I, through the process, fell in love with America as a nation in a way I never have, where I actually genuinely care about policies that are affecting everyday Americans. And as a daughter of a multicultural, multinational family, as a American myself, born and raised in America, I am an American. I am the face of America. You are the face of America. If you are born in America, doesn't matter what nation your ancestry comes from. I learned a lot about just the resilience of our nation. And also, there was a lot of haters out there. I had a lot of men telling me to go home, back to the kitchen, little girl, where you belong. And it really got me down. I got really depressed. Um, I actually became suicidal. And and then we moved to South Korea, our entire family. My husband was in the military at the time, a pilot in the army, and he got orders for South Korea, of all places, and we shipped up and shipped out. And that was right in the middle of the pandemic. And I had been having dreams starting in 2018, 2019, where in the dreams, God was telling me he was getting ready to flip the nations on their head. And I didn't completely understand, obviously, what that meant, but I didn't understand the magnitude. I thought it was maybe more symbolic, and it turned out to be pretty literal. I also learned a lot about God through the process, that he's so real and that he cares about us and what's happening to us at a very micro level as well as a macro level. And then my husband and I and 5 of our 6 kids shipped to South Korea. Actually, we flew. We didn't go on a ship. We flew to South Korea with masks covering our face. And we lived there for almost 2 years. And there was a lot of stuff we went through and that we experienced as Americans in a foreign country during just a very hard time in the world. And then we moved back to America, and my husband got out of the military, which was my dream from the very beginning. From when he first enlisted almost 14 years ago, it was my dream for him to be able to get out and for us to live a life where we create a legacy for our kids and where we make a difference in the world. Um, and now we're living that. And it's nothing like I thought it was going to be. Can you relate to that? Life just isn't what we expect it to be. But in so many ways, it's so much better. And so, through divine intervention, we moved to Northern California and we bought a home at the top of the market. And my husband and I, our desire, Aaron and I, is to create a life that we love and to be able to pass that on to our kids, but not just our kids, to tell the future generations, like, this is possible. And in so many ways, we're pioneers. I feel like I've always been a pioneer my whole life, but in this, we're definitely pioneers. And we've created this family and we've created this life where we say nothing's impossible because with God, all things are possible. And we don't let anyone put us in boxes, even ourselves. And so on this channel, I'm 9 minutes in here right now, and I'm trying to convey to you the last decade of my life, which is no easy feat for any of us to do, right? But the last decade of my life, I feel like everything's turned upside down. But in that, there's so much hope because I look and I go, here's a world that we thought kind of was ending. I mean, a lot of us thought Armageddon was coming, the zombies, all the things, right? But here we are as mankind, and we're resilient. We're created in the image of God, the God of the universe. And I don't know where you stand with that. I don't know where you stand with God. And frankly, like, I don't care. I'm here for you, for the woman that feels lost, that feels you've forgotten who you are. Maybe you've never even realized who you are. That was me. I was on the brink of divorce 2 years ago. I used that card, the D word, as a manipulation tactic and tool in my marriage. And now I've made a decision, I've made a vow to not just choose my husband and not just choose this life in a cancel culture where everything that used to be good is now considered bad and what was bad is now considered good. And guys, it's a lot. But here I am daring to be me and to also just be honest, to say a lot's changing and I'm changing and it's okay. You're changing and it's okay. You can pivot. You can start at 20 and give up at 22 and start again at 30 and give up at 35 and start again at 38 and give up at 40. It's okay because you're human. We're human and it's okay. Perfection is a lie. There's no such thing as perfect, and there's no such thing as anyone actually being perfect. And even if you just speak to one person in your whole life and you put in them a hope for the future, it'll be worth it. So, this is Anastasia Media. I used to be an essential oil channel, the oily mommy. And then I ran for president. And then I decided to start a video podcast on all things real and relatable called The Bold and Unafraid, and to talk about things that people are afraid to talk about, to empower women like you, to take your power back. Because I actually believe that women are one of God's favorites, if not his favorite. And you could start again and reinvent yourself, and you could pivot. And that's what I'm doing. So I would love for you to join me on this journey with being bold and unafraid, and also the Better With You video podcast, where my husband and I come on here and we just talk about the real things with marriage today and family and creating the marriage of your dreams this side of heaven. Because I believe that's possible. I believe it's all possible. Do you? It's a good question. So that's what you can find here on this channel. And I'm going to go because it's been 14 minutes. And if you stuck around this long, you're amazing. Would you drop a comment below if you actually have stuck around this long? Would you tell me who you are? Because I would love to meet you. And to those of you who have followed me and have chosen to subscribe to this channel and go through all the changes, like, I'm giving you the biggest virtual hug because I truly feel so humbled and so honored that you're here, that you're still choosing to be here and my tiny little space of the internet, because I know that your time is valuable and that you have so much potential within you. And I really do want you to believe that you can be all that you were created to be. And there is no one else that can do it like you, because there's only one you. And I know people are going to say, that's so cliche. And people have said that. And it's just words. Well, it's just words until you believe that it's truth. And then truth can actually change everything because your mind believes whatever you tell it. And so that's pretty damn powerful. All right, my friend, welcome to the Anastasia Media channel. You're going to get a little bit of everything here, but I promise you that it's going to be real and it's going to be truth and it's going to be the best of what I have to give you. So thank you for being here. Drop a comment below. Let me know who you are, where you're coming from, and a little bit about your story. And I also want to start doing these lives to get like Q&A time, but also to get some of you on here to share your story, share your personal story, your story of struggle, your story of heartache, your story of victory, your love story. Whatever your story is, I want to get you on here to share your story because your story is powerful. And stories are what change the world. So let's change the world together. All right, beautiful ones. Until next time, peace out, Anastasia Media.